Uh, Today I'm going to discuss with you high and low permeable soil and their management. Uh, what is permeability? Permeability is basically the capacity of soil to allow the movement of water through its pores. So, permeability is the movement of air or water through the soil. So, it's the ease with which gases, liquid, or plant roots penetrate or pass through the bulk mass of soil. Um, so permeability is the property of soil to permit the flow of water, and property of a porous material which permits the passage or seepage of water through its interconnecting voids or pores, and clay soil having less number of micropores and higher number of micropores. So movement of water is less in clay soil, while in sandy soil micropores are high in number, so permeability is high in sandy soil. Permeability, uh, very slow permeability is also problematic, and high permeability is again a problem in agriculture conditions, because if the permeability is low, then water will not infiltrate into the soil and it will not available for the plants. And if permeability is low, then soil surface soil that having higher nutrient content will erode from the surface if water will not infiltrate inside the soil profile. So soil permeability is due to mainly high clay content. Due to if high clay content and infiltration rate is less than 6 centimeter per day, then runoff will be high, and so soil erosion will be high, and that resulted in nutrient removal from the surface soil. So these conditions result in impeded drainage, poor aeration, and reduced conditions. Again, then surface crusting is another problem due to which slow permeable soil developed. Due to in surface crusting, crust is formed on the surface. It may be because of calcium carbonate, or it may be because of oxides of iron or aluminium. And um, the calcium carbonate form conquer nodules, and that increases with the depth, and these form crust on the surface or on the subsurface. The subsurface hard pan is due to elevation of clay to the subsoil horizons. The subsurface hard pan, the clay is moved from the surface to the lower subsurfaces, and where they combine with the carbon dioxide or oxides of iron, aluminum oxides, and get cementing action and form the hard pan. Next is the shallow soils. Shallow soils uh, are basically shallow in depth, means their soil are just 15 to 20 centimeter depth, and hmm, after 15 and 20 centimeter there is the rock below the surface soil. Now the soil permeability classes. The soil is divided into very slow, moderately slow, moderate, rapid, and very rapid permeability classes on the basis of the movement of water in the soil. If it is less than 3 centimeter per day, then it is under very slow soil permeability class, and if the movement is more than 600, then it is under very rapid soil permeability class. Now management of high clay content, as the soil having very high clay content, the permeability will be low. In these conditions, incorporation of organic material is beneficial, and organic materials like FIM or compost or pressed mud, these will improve the physical properties and increase the porosity, that ultimately results in increasing the permeability of the soil. Similarly, the formation of ridges and furrows help in aeration, providing adequate aeration to the root zone, and help in this low permeable conditions. Similarly, the formation of broad beds, especially in black cotton soils, uh, help in the management of the slow permeable soils. Providing open and subsurface drainage will help in the slowly permeable soils that having high clay contents and huge quantity of sand application. However, the application of sand is not very feasible in a very large area, so changing the texture is a very difficult task. uh, if the area is small, then the properties of the clay can be changed through addition of sand, because sand increases the permeability in the soil. And contour bunding to increase the infiltration rate, and application of soil conditions like vermiculite, it will reduce the runoff and erosion. Then management of soil surface crusting. If the crust is on the surface of the soil, then these reduces the infiltration of water inside the soil profile, as well as the if surface crust is present, then the germination of seed is also become difficult. So this breaking of the surface crust is essential. That can be done with plowing at optimum moisture conditions, and application of lime and gypsum in acidic soil, application of lime, and in alkaline soil, the application of gypsum is good, give good results in these surface crust soils. Similarly, the addition of compost like farmyard manure and other compost and organics will improve the physical properties of the soil. And so after for soil surface crusting, after breaking the surface hard pan, we can add the organic manure for further improvement of these soils. And similarly, the scrapping of this surface crust through tooth harrow will be useful for removing the soil crusting. Uh, bold grains, as the crust is there, so germination is difficult. So bold grain seeds may be used for sowing, uh, give good results in the germination. And if the seeds are small, then we should increase the seed rate, and sprinkle water at periodic interval gives good results, because it softens the soil. So sprinkling water uh, uh, the, make the seeds to germinate is helps the seed to germinate easily, and we can grow resistant crops like cowpea uh, in these soil surface clusters. And if the subsurface hard pan is present, then we should use the chisel blow. Cross harrowing of this chisel blow will break the hard pan, and after that, addition of organic manure, any FIM or compost or any type of organic manure will help in the mm, uh, further, uh, so that further subsoil hard pan will not again made in this the subsurface. So this technology is helpful in these. And shallow soils, where the shallow soil is very shallow in depth, about 15 to 20 centimeter, and after that the rock is present. In these conditions, shallow rooted crops should be taken, and soil fertility should be maintained in these conditions, and growing of crops that can withstand shallowness like mango, berry, fig, tamarind, beet, etc., can be used in this. Now, as the slow permeable soil is a problem, similarly the high permeable soils are problems that having high number of concentration of sand. The more than 70% of sand resulted in highly permeable soils that having poor water retention capacity, very high hydraulic conductivity and infiltration rates. These soils are devoid of finer particles and organic matter, and also poor in soil structure. So these become problem for the agriculture because water will not withstand here. So, for management of these soils, flowing uniformly and after 24 hours of a good rainfall or irrigation, we should be rolled 10 times with 400 kg stone roller that will compact the soil. And due to its compaction of the soil, the pores will soil will permeability will become low and soil compact, and then the shallow flow soil should be given and crops can be raised, and application of clay, this again is not feasible in large area. If the area is small, then we can apply clay that will changes the behavior of soil become less permeable. And application of organic material helps in increasing the water holding capacity of the soil and reduces its permeability. Similarly, the asphalt sheet, polythene sheets below the soil surface reduce the infiltration rate, and crop rotation with green manure rings like Sunhab, Sesbania, Dheja also reduces the permeability of soil. Then frequent irrigation, because if the soil is highly permeable, then if we apply more quantity of water in one time, soil will not hold the water, and it will also remove the nutrients with it from the soil, from the surface soil. So frequent irrigation should be given, and the quantity should be low, and frequent split application of fertilizer should be done, because if uh, fertilizers applied in one time, it will remove from the soil, and slow release fertilizers like neem coated urea etc should be used. Thank you so much.